What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant 2's Patreon episode, No Easy Buckets. Water cooler commentary for your sports needs. Analysis by assholes. I missed one. But we're back in it. And happy Thanksgiving. This episode.
Happy Black Friday.
Happy Black Friday, man. Thank you guys so much for being part of this community. We got a very spicy week. We had an incredible episode with Miko Grimes. Thank you, Miko Grimes, for coming on the podcast.
Queen.
Man, it was so...
The one time I wish our female listenership was higher, just so these hosts could learn how to act.
That's just a ride or die over there.
Head once a week at a minimum? That's great. That's a wifey.
Wifey. That's a queen. God damn.
Monroe Martin has a
I wouldn't even discredit her by just calling her wifey, bro. I'll give her a fucking crown. Hell yeah.
Monroe Martin is a comedian. He has a really funny bit he's working on right now. I don't want to fuck up too much. He basically said, like, he married his girl, and he's like, all you other girls who keep harassing your man to get married, just shut up and suck his dick, and you'll get a ring in no time.
No fucking time, yo. It's like, I can't leave this alone. Shit.
Funny idea. That's great.
We had
a novel concept.
Great episode with her. I was very proud of the episode. I thought it was very well crafted. You know, a lot of times you'll see like an interview where there'll be a series of questions that are asked, and then the answers to those questions can be really interesting. And I thought what we ended up having was like a life story. You know, it was like almost watching like something like a 30 for 30 or like a biography, if you will. And but information about the NFL and information about, you know, professional sports in general was like peppered in throughout it. So it was completely dynamic, but it was something I was very proud of, and I think that the people seem to enjoy it. The numbers seem to reflect it this morning. So
yeah, it felt like, you know, I like listening to it. I like listening to it because it kind of felt like a serial podcast, and we don't really do shit like that.
Well said.
You know what I mean? A lot of times, like, I'll listen like to clips if I'm not on there, but like this is one that I made sure I listened to throughout, and it was so like episodic. I was like, oh man, it would be really dope to like have that lane of the podcast or that lane of the show that we haven't really like explored yet.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great to talk topical and shit like that, and, you know, shit talk, but like those type of having people just come in and explain their narratives and kind of take us on a ride, like, that was really dope, man.
Tell your story. You know, I think it's like, if you have somebody, it's a different type of interview. Like, not all interviews are done chronologically in that way, where it's like, take us through it. Take us through the beginning to the end or to the current state of your relationship. I mean, it was a love story.
Yeah, and kudos to y'all, man, because sometimes the best interviewers,
great.
The best interviewers don't know when to just shut up and let people talk. You know what I mean?
Nah, if somebody's got a great story, I want to hear what they got to say. Trust me.
Also, I mean? Miko got an energy that she ain't gonna
cut her off.
Up.
There's no way you're gonna cut her off by any means, man. She's a beast.
So we had this great conversation. Well, we did that Monday, and then we didn't get to pretty much any of the topics that we wanted to talk Monday because we had spoken for, I think, about 3 hours by the time the episode had finished. And so we got a lot of shit to catch up from earlier in the week. Obviously, big news outside of sports. The King of New York just got clipped.
Yes, sir.
Tekashi. Free Tekashi, man.
You seen the Fat Joe
Nah,
clip?
don't free him yet.
Why not?
Don't free him yet.
Why? Because they're coming after him?
You got to keep him for a little bit, bro.
Really?
Like, you gotta,
not in Gen Pop.
No, they got him in I heard they got him in the hole now.
They need to get him in the hole.
That's the only way.
To keep him
before he gets his hole got.
Apparently, I was talking to Charlamagne yesterday. He was like, Tax told he's in the same jail as Tax.
Yeah, but Tax said they got him in Gen Pop.
Yeah, but they moved him.
They just moved him. Yeah.
I mean, high priority case or something like that.
Well, no, it was because they want him to snitch, and they're like, see what it's like when you don't snitch. You're going to be in Gen Pop, and they're going to try. They want the fear of God.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to keep him at least for a little bit. You got to shake him up. He needed that. He needed that because he's talented. He's just he's a fucking idiot.
I was trying to talk about
interview him and Fat Joe. Fat Joe's talking to him. It's like a minute clip. It's crazy. He's like,
they're gonna come for you.
The number of times they try to set me up, the feds, I promise you, they're gonna come for you. You need to just stop. Be ready. Like, get your shit on point. And Tekashi just like, nah, man. And he's like, no, I'm telling you. I told the same thing. I forgot who he told to.
Bobby Shmurda.
I said the same thing to Bobby Shmurda. And then Tekashi was like, yeah, I get, but like it's wild.
He heard him, but he wasn't listening.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, well, you know, like, he's typically young motherfucker.
Who you gonna listen to? You came from nothing.
You're barely
and
21 years
trusted
old.
your own guts and trusted your own intuition and became a millionaire.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell you shit.
And this is why
You were broke,
Yeah.
and then you trusted yourself and became a millionaire. You're gonna start trusting other people. I get why these people roll with it. I just had I was trying to have this conversation on idiots, and it just kept getting confused, and it just like drove me fucking crazy yesterday. But the conversation was essentially like, do you blame people for taking the risk? And the risk, I mean, leveraging all like the gang and violence stuff for fame, right? Because if you leverage the gang and violence, if you go, hey, I'm violent, I'm a gangster, I'm fucked up, I do all this crazy shit, it brings exposure.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you have music that people fuck with, which Tekashi does, some people will go, okay, it's worth it. Now, there are people like 50 Cent who leveraged it and got out.
Yeah.
And now he's on The View talking to fucking...
Even Snoop. Even Snoop, dude. Like people
Snoop?
forget like Snoop was like the 50 of their time. Was like, damn, I know this rap stuff is entertainment, but that guy's
Murder
Yeah,
was
that
the
guy's
case
legit.
that
Murder
they
was the
gave me.
case.
He was on
Like,
trial.
He was on
Yeah.
trial for murder. Now he bakes cookies with Martha Stewart.
Facts. So
it's
it's like,
amazing.
he just got
He
a
got a
star
star
on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Come on, Tekashi, we need you and Martha together.
It is funny that like Snoop is like goes hard on politicians, like especially Trump and
Yeah.
shit like that. It's like you might have bodies, bro.
Yeah, no, you definitely like
You know what I
Jay,
mean?
you
I don't know if you
definitely-
the one, bro.
Yeah, like
But,
you definitely were. I'm not even gonna snitch. but
Whatever.
you-
Smile, bitch. Come out. So basically, the conversation I was trying to have is like, you're a kid that's growing up in a hood. 10 of your friends that you grew up with, 7 are dead or in jail. 3 of you aren't. Right? You think that the life expectancy for yourself is probably 24 years old.
Yeah.
Right? It ain't that much of a risk. Right? Going, fuck it, I'm going to leverage all this gang shit. I'm going to say I'm the biggest gangster in the world. I'm going to take all these videos and photo shoots, tell everybody suck my dick. It's like, I'm going to be dead at 24 anyway. I might as well be a
He
millionaire for a
already
little
beat
bit.
the odds. Like he was playing with. He felt like
House money.
So exactly, to a lot of people at that certain age, you're probably playing with house money. But
Yeah.
that's the reason why you need people like Fat Joe or Snoop or 50 to pull them to the
Sure.
side. Like, dude, I felt the same way. You think
Sure.
50 thought he was gonna live to be? You think Snoop thought he was gonna grow up to be what he is now? You know what I'm saying? Like kind, gentle, cuddly Fat Joe. Like motherfuckers don't remember the real fucking Fat Joe.
Yeah.
When like he was literally running everything in New York City. Not
Maybe
music
not
wise.
running.
No.
Maybe doing more of like a casual stroll.
Yeah. I'm not talking about music wise.
Nah, him and Big Pun were running shit, 2 diners and other fast food joints.
No,
You know
here's
what I mean?
here's the thing. You guys are assuming musically. Fat Joe
Yeah,
was
no.
really out here
No, I know,
at
I
one
know,
point.
I
You
know,
know what
I
I
know.
mean? And it's
Yeah.
like
You don't
they
call yourself the
remember
terror squad because of how wonderful you are in the community.
that. Exactly. So
They
it's
called
like,
themselves the terror squad before terrorism. Think about that. Like
It
they
is
were on
true.
top of it.
Like they made
Bin
fetch
Laden
happen.
biting him.
Yeah, facts. Bin Laden was like, I can make some towers lean back.
No, but that's the thing, man. Like a lot of people don't have, and it's kind of like they have the same thing with Bobby Shmurda. Had the same thing with
Right.
Tekashi. They had the same thing with a lot of these young kids in Florida. XXX.
XX.
You know what I
So
mean?
all these
Kodak.
dudes make it, right? Kodak, all these dudes make it off of a wild lifestyle. And we can't deny the fact that like exposing a wild lifestyle brings attention,
Also,
right?
you can't be phony. You can't talk that shit and not be about
Yeah.
it. You
Well,
can't say
it's
you
a-
got
no,
bodies.
you-
I'll go with you. I'll go
could.
with you on that.
Fans are like, that's corny, whatever.
You
I'll go with
could
you on
back
that.
in the day. Now I feel
It's harder.
like
There's more
it's hard.
transparency.
Yeah, there's so much transparency.
I'll go with you on that. I'll go with you on that. Okay, so you have to live it up. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it just puts a spotlight on you, right?
Yeah.
And if part of you is your music, now all of a sudden there's a spotlight on the music, right? So it is a strategy. It is a tool for fame that's incredibly effective. The question is, how do you transition out of it?
Yeah.
How did 50 do that? 50 was just as, suck my dick. He made the
Yeah.
song How to Rob. Like,
He was at my first summer jam I was ever at. He was on stage throwing chairs into the crowd.
so
with
how
G-Unit.
did so maybe
Like-
that's the formula that people need to realize. It's like that wild shit gets you attention. It gets
You
you
get the attention.
you hit a critical mass, right?
Yeah.
And Tekashi hit the critical mass, and he kept going. And I think that's where the feds, like in my personal opinion, this could be conspiratorial, but I think feds step in when they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna make this a trend."
Yeah, conspiracy is such a flimsy charge because it's like
not conspiracy in terms of charge. I'm saying it's conspiratorial on my part where
the feds set him up.
The Fed not set him up, but like the feds go. I think the federal government is literally looking at like America, and they're going, okay, what kind of trends do we want to stop? Communism, chill.
Yeah.
All right, MacArthur hearings, right? This satanic rock music, chill. These kids are gonna start fucking killing themselves.
We're gonna slap
that shit.
stickers on
Boom.
every song.
Okay,
on
Marilyn
every
Manson,
album.
you're not gonna be in Walmart. We're not gonna do. So
Yeah.
they basically stop trends that they don't like happening because you see certain trends that are okay. There's tons of people getting killed, tons of drug dealers out there. There's tons of these
There's
things.
tons of rappers like abusing women and shit, and just like, and that's fine,
Right,
like,
we're not
they
talking
never go
about
to
it.
jail.
We're not talking about it. But
Yeah.
there was something about, and I
It's
feel like the feds are sitting there
advertising.
and they're essentially going like this. They're going like this. They're going, all right, if this kid pops, you know, every young rapper is going to start telling every gang member and every other young rapper that could be involved to suck their dick, and this is the pathway to fame, right? Mm-hmm. We can't have that because that's going to be casualties. It's going to cost us a lot of money, etc.
There's a part of that I agree with.
This is just conspiracy. I'm just like,
There's a part of that I agree with.
Yeah.
It'll be really, really unfortunate if we don't at least say like the motherfucker did a lot of this shit to himself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to
100% accountable. What I'm saying is,
it's one thing to you know bring that upon yourself and do that whenever you want to do that, but there's a whole nother thing to like shoot up a towel in Times Square. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Damn.
it's one thing to do that shit in Brooklyn.
I'm not saying that he's not 100% accountable for his actions. He's 100% accountable. There's a lot of shootings in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
The feds ain't in Chicago until Tekashi goes to Chicago,
Yeah.
and then they're protecting
And
him.
they're dancing around, fucking walking around Chief Keef's hood.
What
talking
I'm
about,
trying to
here.
say is, like, I think that they're curbing this trend because they're like, we're not gonna have all these young rappers just shooting up everybody and doing that so that we can make some money.
Nah, hell no.
It just seems to me
I feel like one thing.
that's how the feds operate.
I think once it starts getting really glorified, like rappers ain't bragging about beating up women. NFL players ain't bragging about beating
Right.
up women. And I think
Now.
once you start
Yeah.
glorifying it, you're like, all right, we can't have
Once
that
it's
glorified.
effective, that's what it is. It's like
All right.
the rappers that might be like glorifying that shit, they're still underground, right?
Yeah.
But once you the biggest, not the biggest, but once you the one of the biggest rappers in the game, you got Kanye on the new album. You know what I mean? Like once this kind of shit happens, they're like, all right, chill, because every kid. We saw it with face tattoos.
Yeah.
Right? All these SoundCloud rappers has fake tattoos. Now every motherfucking young rapper got face tattoos coming up. So you see the trends, and it's the feds. I think they run in there like, all right, this trend is a little too dangerous.
I'm gonna tell you exactly to answer your question, like how to transition to it and why it continues to happen. Right.
Yeah.
Right now we're in an age where, you know, all you really need to pop off is a sound. And like labels are chasing after the internet. It's not the other way around. Back when like 50 was popping off and Fat Joe and like all these other guys that transitioned and Snoop, they all had some sort of mentorship or some sort of, you know, cocoon, like protective, you know, label head forever. Say if it's Snoop, it was Dr. Dre.
Right.
It was 50. It was Eminem. For Fat Joe, I mean, it was pretty much himself, but he had to go through that shit to get through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Puffy was a lot of things. And I think those figureheads, Jay-Z to a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was those figureheads that were, I guess, the conduit
This is good.
before the label gets to you.
So
You know what I mean?
M sits you down and goes, yo, you ready to make some real money now and quit all this fuck shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
go
like-
after these rappers. Stop trying to be involved in real violent shit. Don't do no drugs. It's Diddy who said to Biggie, "You're not going down south
Yeah.
to fucking pick up a pack."
Yes.
You're-
Yes. It's like, dog, we got to go to the Grammys. Are you kidding me?
Exact. So Tekashi has no. Well, I mean,
And-
50 was supposed to
And
be
I'm
his
saying,
guy. Yeah.
to continue on that point, I'm saying that if there isn't like the Puffs and the Dr. Dre's and the Eminems, you just have these label dudes that are just running shit, and they just see numbers.
And
they just
like,
see
the numbers
reactions.
are good, let's go.
Yeah.
They just see money being made, and they're like, oh, let's do that. And I think these guys are the ones that usually step in between that. It's like, listen, these corporate fucks are going to do whatever they can to
Get
make
your
their
money.
money, and they don't
Yeah.
give a fuck what really happens to
Tighten
you.
shit.
You
Tighten
know what
it
I'm
up.
saying?
Yeah,
like,
write this
tighten
shit.
your shit up, because they'll do it to you. I've seen it done to other people, and
There's a
you'll be fucked up out here.
there's something about incentive too. It's like if Tekashi was signed to 50 Cent and 50 Cent was making a percentage of that Tekashi
It'd be
money,
a lot different.
you better believe
Be a lot
and
different.
putting some money
That
in Tekashi's pocket.
father say what?
And putting some money in Tekashi's pocket.
But no, I'm saying the other way. Like
If that was
You
his
think 50
investment,
would've been
Cent
incentivized.
was incentivized
Yeah, I'm saying
to
it's
tell
both
him
ways.
to chill the fuck
Yeah.
out.
50 was only doing that just because he was a
If
fan
that
of
was the
his.
case,
Yeah.
you're going to see a lot less, that's my son, I'm his dad, and you're going to see a lot of private conversations like, the feds are watching, right?
Yeah.
Like, chill the fuck out, cut out these dudes, we can get you real security. I had real security for the
Yeah.
majority of my career.
Yeah.
Nobody
yeah.
said shit because I was still funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Oh, do we have a...
Is he ready to roll? You want to call him up? Let's call him up, man.
All right, we have a special guest.
Yeah, we're going to get to this early because it's early on his side and he has rehab in a few.
Oh, is he still
So,
rehabbing?
Yeah, he's
What's he
trying to-
rehabbing?
He's trying to play, dude.
That's not...
He's trying to play, man.
But rehabbing, that's an
Like-
injury.
You.
Yo.
Let me intro you real quick. We got a history maker on our line today on the Flagrant 2 hotline. Now I'm saying former New York Knicks, so he always gets love from me. The one and only person in the history of the NBA to win the NBA Slam Dunk Championship 3 times. Give it up to one of the greatest dunkers, greatest athletes to ever step foot in the NBA court. My man Nate Robinson is on the Flagrant 2 podcast. What up, Nate?
What's up, guys?
I'm good,
How you
man.
doing? You sound groggy.
Nah, man, y'all waking me up at 6, 7 a.m. I mean, shit.
You gotta be. Come on, bro. You doing a comeback. These are comeback hours.
Yeah, you don't got
man,
rehab today.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, rehab is in a bit after this, so I'm gonna knock it out in a minute.
What are you rehabbing?
I'm rehabbing my meniscus.
Okay.
Man,
okay.
see?
Yeah, but I'll be back. I'm already walking and running a little bit now, so I'll be back probably full health in
Now,
probably
So
late December.
Nate, are you in Washington doing this rehab?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in Seattle. Are you there?
You're out in Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you a question. What is it about these pasty vegan bitches that you love so much that you get brought back to Seattle? No matter how far you go,
man.
we bring you to the bright lights of New York City. You got Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Indians,
Yeah, hey.
Asians,
Ain't no mommies
black
in
shit.
Seattle.
Do you know what I mean?
That was my problem. That was my problem here, so I had to get out of there. Too many Spanish mommies, but I had to come back home.
So
I
you
had
went
come
back
to my
to
roots.
rehab
back
in a
to my
place
roots.
you knew you could concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't going to be
Facts.
distracted.
You went back to a place where I spell mommy MOMMY.
Now, Nate, man, speaking of Seattle, it's produced a lot of hoopers. You know what I mean? One right now playing for the Knicks is Alonzo Trier. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that you've watched growing up for a while. What are your thoughts on him, man? Because I know when we caught up, you was talking a lot about him in L.A. and saying, yo, he's a real one. He's a hooper.
Man, yeah, man, I just don't understand how a guy like that with so much talent can go undrafted. That just shows that GMs that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing sometimes. And, they make mistakes just like we do, like, people like that. So, Lonzo, he's been good. He lived in Seattle. He moved out of here, went to Vegas to school. Then he went to Arizona. Then from Arizona, I don't know how you go undrafted, but he was one hell of a player there. And then now he's showing the league, what he can do. He's already making people fall, dunking on people, and he's only a rookie. And it's only going to get better. So I hope the Knicks understand that they got a real baller on their hands and that they can open their eyes and understand that Seattle got some cold ballers, man, period. I don't care what nobody say. We can go up against some of the best players in the world, and that's just how we do.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, let me ask you a question because you were a teammate that was incredibly skilled, but could also be a pain in the ass for a coach. So, what was it? What do you think is happening in Washington D.C. right now?
With John and Bill and all those guys over there, I don't know, man. I mean, everybody's gonna point fingers when you start losing, man. That's just what it is. If they were winning, they wouldn't stay in any of this.
Yeah,
really.
You know, so I mean, for sure, I've been a part of it before, being with the Knicks and being on a losing team, and we win a little bit, and then winning makes everything a little bit better. It makes the chicken strips taste a little bit better. It makes that lemonade a little bit more brisk when you win. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I just think they need to just, find a way to get on a winning streak before they, make some crazy decisions on trade these guys when those are the guys they actually need to win.
I have a question, right? And it's really just about Washington, D.C., the organization, right? Washington, D.C. is looking for a coach, right? And they're like, we have a dominant personality in our point guard. We need a coach that has the ability to coach a dominating personality of a point guard. So then they get Scott Brooks, who just failed trying to coach a dominant personality of a point guard. How much is on the organization?
I mean, it's one thing when you got coaches that be stuck in their ways in a certain way, and then you got a player that is in like a John Wall, Bradley Beal, these guys that, they demand so much because, they work so hard, man, and they wanna be the person to lead the team. So the coach don't have to coach as much, but the coaches, they be trying to coach and do so much instead of just letting some of the players play sometimes. But I just think that, like you said, like I said earlier, they got to figure out a way just to find a way to win. They got to figure out that way to win, no matter how they do it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta go out. You see, they came back down 24 last night.
Yeah.
Came back and win. So they came back and won the game. So they just gotta however they finish the game, that's how they gotta play the rest of the season. I think they'll be all right, and then they can turn the season around and be like, yeah, we started the season like this, and then we ended it like this to make it in the playoffs. So as long as they make the playoffs, I think it's a successful season.
Now, Nate, Andrew just mentioned Scott Brooks. That's one of the many shitty coaches you played for. Who was the worst coach you played for?
No, it was.
Now, D'Antoni,
it was.
Tibbs don't give a fuck about your body. Who's?
It was tough. It was tough getting in OKC the year I was there, man, because when I got there, I knew I wasn't going to play, and I was behind. And this is no disrespect to my guy Eric Maynard, but I was playing behind Eric Maynard. Like, they were like, this is our guy who we're going with. And I'm looking around like, are you kidding me? Like, every day at practice, they were, like, we had to stand on the side and run up. Like, we had to run lines when they were scrimmage. And, like, we had to run lines. So every time they went down and ran, like, they ran down on the other side, we had to run down and wait. And then when they run back, I said, man, this ain't no cartoon. Like, cartoon characters running back one. I said, no. I had to stop practice one day. Like, yo, so do we not get to practice?
Oh, man.
'Cause I'm lost. So, I think that, they took that from me. I think that a lot of coaches that I've been around, they took that as like, I don't want to say disrespect, but they took that in a negative way because I was so passionate about playing, and that's practice. And most guys don't even want to practice in the league. Most guys want to chill and just wait for the game. So for me, I was like, no, I like to actually practice. That's how I work on my game. That's how I get better for the game. So, it was tough, but I don't know, man. I had some cool coaches. I had some bad coaches, and I wouldn't necessarily say D'Antoni was a bad coach. He was just a bad fit, I guess, for me. He just didn't like me or something. I don't know. I mean, me and Carlos Boozer, we got some passes on our first podcast. We got passed it to All-Star Weekend at Media Day. And I asked D'Antoni, I asked all the players, we asked him questions, and then D'Antoni came up. And I told Boozer, I said, I'm going to ask him why he sat me down for them 14 games. And I really want to know what I did. And, I never asked him over the years. I've never asked him. So, I went up to him and asked him in front of everybody, like, yo, D'Antoni, I was like, yo, why you didn't play? And it's funny because I was like, yo, why you didn't play Nate Robinson? And I said it like, I wasn't there. I said, why you didn't play Nate Robinson for them 14 games and he had 41 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals? Why you didn't play him that, and he had that game, and he was like, he couldn't give me a real answer. It was so funny. And I put him on the spot. He was like, It was like a deer in the headlights. He didn't know what to say, what to do. It was pretty cool. It was like pretty like the best Q&A I ever had.
You know why he didn't play you? Because you were stealing all his pasty white bitches.
Hey, you know, it's funny because people ask me that. They were like, man, did you sleep with somebody's girl, man? You got blackballed out the league?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I believe that.
I was like, I hope not. I hope not. I hope I didn't, man. I hope I didn't.
D'Antoni like
sleep
them
with somebody's
chicks.
girl. Man, I hope I didn't sleep with somebody's girl, man. And somebody was like, you know what, we're gonna blackball Nate Robinson. And I hope that wasn't the case. And if it was, I want to say here, I apologize.
Yo, there's so I heard a story. My understanding about you, Nate, is that you love to compete.
Yeah, too much. A little too much, man.
So,
yeah.
So can you clarify this story? I was hearing a story. It was you were in Denver, right? And what was the point guard's name? He was in
Ty Lawson.
Ty, yeah.
yeah.
Now on that team, it was you, Ty, and there was I can't believe
Andre Miller.
And Andre, consummate professional.
Look,
Andre
I
is
already
probably
know about
53 years old at the time. Hasn't missed a
Getting
game,
buckets still, too. Getting buckets at 52.
bruh. And he he's like, I don't work out. Like he just says shit that's crazy like that. Ty is starting, but Ty's drinking. Was Ty just drunk every day? What was the issue with Ty?
Man, I mean, Ty just liked to party, man. That was his deal. That was him.
Right.
And it's funny because, some players are game players. Like Ty's a gamer. He no matter how much he partied and drank or whatever, he always showed up ready to play. And I thought it was unbelievable. I'm like, bro, you really go so hard, and then you go even harder in the game.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you got to have a good balance. And he's like, bro, I'm turning up. I'm living my life. I'm like, I ain't mad at you.
So I heard there's a story. Maybe you can clarify, but something was happening. There was dissent in the locker room. They were talking about who should start between Andre Miller and Ty Lawson, and like the whole team is there, the coach and staff is there, and
it wasn't about starting. It wasn't about starting. Let me clarify that. It wasn't about starting.
Yeah.
So that day was the first day, and it's pretty cool. Not cool that I got to witness it, but it was kind of crazy that I got to witness it. That it was the first day that Andre Miller got his first DMP of his career.
Right.
And I mean, for some people, you know, like they want that played every game. You know what I'm saying? He deserves that. Like Andre put in work. He's been playing with some of the best. He's one of the best point guards to play the game. In my opinion, like, you know, smart, cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Real laid back, real humble. Don't talk much. And he got that squeaky little voice, and it's funny. So when we came in the locker, you know, like it started on the court, you know, like he was playing, and then the time kept going, and then Andre was on the bench, and he was like, "There's no way I'm getting my first DMP today. Like, what's up?" Like during the timeout, he was like, "Coach is like, what's up?" And after the game, we got to the locker room, and Andre, he was hot, he was mad, and you know, he wanted to say he stopped, you know, he stopped Coach. You know, y'all want to say something before everybody starts saying something. He says, "Coach, I just think that it was disrespectful, and it was not cool that, you know, I got my first DMP. I didn't play. I don't know what the reason why, you know, I don't get to play." And Coach was like, "Man, we're just going with the younger guy. You know, we're going with the younger guy." And he was like, "What you mean by younger guys? Because like you guys should like give me an opportunity to fight for minutes." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Man, I think that's unfair." He was like, "Me and Nate come in here every day before everybody's here and work out every day. And you guys come and you guys just give guys certain minutes and play guys certain minutes, and it's like we don't have no chance to earn more minutes." And he was like, "You know, I think that's corny, that you handle it like that." And then Coach B. Shaw was like, "Well, I'm the coach and I can play who I want and when I want or whatever, whoop-de-whoop." And he was like, "Honestly, it wasn't even my call. It was management. But, you know, you're a grown man, I'm a grown man, and we can handle it and talk and figure out what's the best solution." And Andre Miller was like, "The best solution was for me to play and help the team. We lost the game. You know what I'm saying? I got wisdom. I got years, you know what I'm saying, respectfully, you know." And I was like, wow, you know, everything he said is true. So he was like, you know, Andre Miller goes to his phone and was like, I forgot what B. Shaw said. Coach Shaw said something, and it triggered him. And Andre Miller was like, "Man, you had Shaq and Kobe. That's why you got your rings. And those rings were just you know, those rings were handed to you. You didn't earn those. You know, and then he went to that, and he was like, you averaged 2 points your whole career. You didn't do nothing. Like, he was going in on him. And I was like, everybody was looking around like, is he really talking to coach like this? And he, you know, Andre really got that voice. He was like, yeah, man. He said, you ain't averaged 2 points a game. And I was trying not to laugh, you know, the whole time. But, yeah, that was the day, you know, he was like, you know, you got guys coming in late. You got guys showing up to shoot around late. Nobody was just, you know, saying all this real stuff. And it was just, you know, pandemonium in that locker room, man. It was just all bad. And then, like, that rest of the year was just up and down just like that for the rest of the year. And during the year, whenever Andre would play, like when we played, every time he played and we like made a shot or we did something, we put 2 fingers in the sky and we pointed at God like you the man, like that was Andre's thing. So every time we shot the ball, we did something, we always did that for Andre. In games, we were doing it for Dre, pointing to the sky. It was like a funny thing that we used to do. So but it was fun, man. I had a blast playing for the Denver Nuggets.
I heard a little extra part of that story, which was
tell me.
So Andre and Coach are going at it, right? Just like you said, and they're going at it totally this and that, and you don't have the rings, and Shaw, you ain't shit, this, that, the other, and then Andre's going, you know, and you know what, and what's it, Ty ain't shit, he ain't even that good, like, you know, you should give me miss, that's it, that, the other.
He was going hard.
He was going hard, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just pop up, and then you go, I be busting Ty's ass too.
Oh yeah, I did say that. I did say that because in practice. Now listen, time out.
Nate won his minutes, baby. Nate won his minutes.
No, you know what? Nate won a job. He left that part out the story.
No, because since we were on the topic about like playing minutes and stuff, I was like, well, I be busting his ass too. Right, and it's funny because he didn't say nothing. He couldn't say anything because every day in practice, the second squad, the second unit, me, Andre, Alonzo G, like we had a squad. Like we and Darrell Arthur, we used to really kick our first unit's ass every single day. Like we used to have a tally of how many scrimmages we would win, and we would like really keep that and take that to heart. So I was like, man, you know, like I was like, man, this is the time. And I was like, man, I said, we do come here every day, and I do be busting his ass. So, yeah, we do need more minutes. It was like, that was my time. I had to get in where I fit in. Yeah, that's a true story. And it was hella funny. I was like, I had to add my 2 cents in. That's funny. That's funny. So, like, hey, if would have said, if Ty would have said, yeah, right, you know, I was like, bro, we can go upstairs right now to gym. I would have told him to check up right now. Let's start the 1 immediately.
Bro,
I'm not playing no games, but no, it did go down like that. But look, it was funny because that we were trying to we were a solid team. We were trying to make the playoffs towards the end of the season, but we had some great games and great times, you know, playing. And after that happened, man, it was like I don't know what triggered us, but it got kind of crazy. But then we started winning a couple games. I was like, man, maybe we turn around, but now we fell up short for making the playoffs.
Now, Nate, I mentioned earlier you're the only person in NBA history to win 3 slam dunk contests, and you know, one of those dunk contests back when back when we were allowed to get as many attempts as you wanted to. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people were down on that. I thought it was extremely impressive that like you even managed to pull off a dunk after like the 10th or 12th attempt. You know what I mean? Because like I would have been winded. So, like, what was going through your mind, like, during that? Was there any point you're like, you know,
I was like, this enough. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, this is going on long enough.
Listen, so I'm stubborn at times when that's a dunk that I used to do so easy. And so that, like, for me not to make it in front of everybody, it kind of pissed me off. And I'm like, well, I'm still doing this no matter what points I get. I don't care how many times it takes me. I'm making this dunk. So that's what it was, man. I was just so frustrated. And then on top of that, like, you know, being in the dunk contest, a little nervous. You know, people, you know, millions of people watching, and you know, I just like, man, I can make this dunk. But you know, it's the same thing. Shit, Andre Iguodala did the same dunk 3 times and trying to get more points. Doing
he
the
also
same
lost,
thing.
fam. He didn't get out the fucking
exactly. Well, how do you expect to win? How do you expect to win doing the exact same dunk every time?
He fucked up.
All my dunks were all different.
Yeah, I remember he listened to Kobe. Kobe told him what to do, and then you just listen to Kobe, obviously. But Kobe, don't know. Kobe old. Dunk contest passed him by.
That's the only time you're supposed to not listen to the Kobe mentality.
Nate, question. Why don't you go to China and just bust their ass for a couple years?
Because, bro, I don't know what it is. China has not reached out to me, not one team.
You're kidding.
No way.
You know how good it would be to go to China and feel tall?
But it looks so, it looks cheesy. Like basketball, I'm watching Jimmy Fredette scoring 80. Are you kidding me? Like, no.
How trash is Jimmer?
I want to play. I'm not saying he's trash. That's not what I'm saying. He's a scorer. He can score the ball. He's a solid player. I like Jimmer Fredette.
But would he give you buckets?
But for him, hell no. Jimmer Fredette's not giving me no. I'm not giving him. He's not giving me no buckets. No, sir. No, sir. I played against him before. No, he's not. I refuse to let Jimmer Fredette give me any buckets.
So you don't think he's dropping 80?
No, a guy that probably lost his virginity at 25, he's definitely not giving me buckets. Hell no. No, sir. No, sir. Hell no.
Yo, because we had Jimmer on the show, and he said the easiest guy to score on was you.
That's a lie. Don't even start that.
We fucking with you, man. We fucking with you.
He on the flight to Beijing right now.
No,
What's
sir.
up there, Jimmer?
No, sir.
All right, now
I seen him play against. He gave Phil Pierre Jackson 85 points or something.
God damn.
But in China, but it wasn't him. He didn't give Pierre. He gave the other team because in China, the other American can't guard the other American. They make the Chinese kid guard the American, and that's why they be having 80, 90 points and stuff over there. My guy. Shout out to my boy. Who's over there killing?
Russ Smith. Russ Smith from Louisville. Yeah.
He's over there averaging 80 points a game. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get buckets over there. So, I mean, it's cool, but I want to play real hoop. I need to get to Europe. If I can't play in the league again, I need to get to Europe. I want to play where all these so-called great players from Europe come out of, and I want to show them, like, okay, yeah, y'all ain't shit.
This is gonna be our goal with this episode. And once this joint gets out, I need every European team, every EuroLeague team, everything overseas.
Man, give me a chance.
Yo, give Nate a call, man. He's in the Big 3 league right now. You over there cooking, by the way.
Man, I'm trying to, man.
As far as those guys in the Big 3 and the guys that are over there, aside from yourself, who do you look at in that league and be like, yo, he can still go to the NBA right now and get a few buckets? Who do you think is over there that can do that? Besides yourself.
Mahmoud, he's 49 years old, cooking in the Big 3.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Man, what?
Yeah.
Did you see him? I think he could probably still play in the NBA right now. Give him a 10 day and see what he can do.
I always tell people he was the first Steph Curry, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He got blackballed out the league, so I know how he feels. So yeah, he's definitely one of the greats, man. He's a GOAT forever.
Do you feel?
I'm a fan.
Do you feel like you're blackballed from the league?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you
think
caused that?
A little bit of blackballed, a little bit of me being ahead of my time, being in the NBA a little too early than I was supposed to. I think that, right now, like looking at the league and how God, like back in the day when I came in the league, when I was trying to wear crazy shoes, they were telling me, no, you can't do it. We're going to find you. Like, how you going to find me from wearing any shoe I want? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in that era before they started to let people wear whatever and do whatever. Like, I was trying to do all that. I was trying to get jerseys kind of crazy. They were not trying to listen to me. And now look at all these different jerseys. I was trying to give the NBA so much different swag, and they were not messing with me back then, man. But I think I was just a little bit. I was just a little bit before my time, man. I was too much of the people's champ, and the coaches and GMs. I don't think they liked that, man. They didn't like the fact that they sat me down and didn't play me, and people were screaming, "We want Nate" at the games. They hated that, I think.
Has there ever been a situation in your life where you had to convince a girl that you were yourself?
Yeah. Yep. I did one time, man. It was crazy. Like, I remember this one time I was talking to this girl, and I was trying to rap to her, and she was like, "Are you like one of their friends?" And I'm like, "I'm not one of the homies. I'm not one of these homies, girl. You better act about me." I was like, you playing me like that? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you tickets to the game. I'll give you tickets to the game. Tickets to the game.
You showed her.
I gave her tickets to the game one time, man. Had a great game, and she's like, "Oh yeah, Oh no, I don't want to go out with you now, baby. It's cool. I'm out of here. Nah.
Should have just jumped over that bitch and been like, "What do you think? I'm just here hanging out."
Nah, I had to keep her at bay, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to let them know. And then once they seen Nate Robinson, they see, he had billboards downtown in Manhattan and right there in Times Square. They're like, oh, that's a little short, ugly dude that was trying to talk to me. I should have talked to him. But I was like, nah, baby. I'm taking these little short, ugly cats somewhere else.
Now, here's a question. When you got a girl in the crowd that you want to impress, are you going harder than normal?
Nah, man, I always play my game, and if whatever happens in between times, then that's what it was. Like, the thing I used to love about playing in the Garden, man, it would be so many dope celebrities on Celebrity Row right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember Jessica Alba came to the game.
There's clips of
Rihanna,
you.
Beyonce, like so many different beautiful celebrities to come to the games, and I used to be like, damn, they're just right there. I said, man, I hope I save a ball over there and just knock them over and just like, what's up, baby, how you doing? And get back to the game.
Hey, Nate, I got to keep you a little honest. You mentioned Beyonce and Rihanna. There's clips of you on ESPN freaking out over Will Ferrell. Don't leave out Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell's my guy, man. Will Ferrell's my guy. I've been a big fan. Just, Talladega Nights is one of my favorite movies, and Step Brothers, like, he would come to the games, and I'm like, yo, like, that's one of my favorite actors.
You were
like,
geeking.
Shake and bake. So my little calling when I scored, it was shake and bake. It was like, that was my thing, shake and bake. So he came to the game one day. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, he's at the game, and I went to the announcer. I said, yo, I'm going hard. I said, hey, play that extra loud tonight. So I ended up, he came to a game one time. We played Indiana, and I ended up having like 41. And like I was waiting for a moment. To go give him a shake and bake, like a dap. And I remember the time where I came down the court and I had a 4-point play. I shot a 3 and dude fouled me on my elbow, and I had a 4-point play, and I walked all the way over because he wasn't on the side where we were the hoop. He was on the other side. So I walked all the way over to the side and gave him a shake and bake, and they got a dope picture of it. And I be posting it sometimes on Throwback Thursday, but that was like a super glory moment. Like I got a shake and bake with Talladega Night of Bobby. What? With Ricky Bobby himself? I was geeked. I gave him a jersey after the game, signed jersey and everything. So yeah, I was pretty stoked that he came to the game.
Now, you always played the same no matter who was in the stands, but I noticed LeBron just scored 51 when he went back to Miami. Do you think that there could be some shorty in Miami that he was trying to impress?
Oh, God.
Nah, man, LeBron's chasing GOAT dreams, man. He's trying to chase Mike and everything that he's accomplished. And he wants to be the best player ever to lace up the sneakers. So that's what he's chasing. LeBron ain't chasing no girls, man.
Hear that.
All
He ain't chasing no girls. Yeah, but he got probably every girl in the world already on his nuts, so he good.
But his main side chick is probably in Miami.
LeBron James, come on, man, he's good.
Yo, Nate, I got a few questions. Sorry to cut you off a little bit. I got a few questions I need to ask you for. I don't think you played for great coaches. I already said that. Who was the worst coach you played for?
Tom Thibodeau's not a good coach. You don't think Tom Thibodeau's?
I don't think he's not a good coach. I just think he doesn't care about your body at all. Like, whatever happens to you, I don't give a fuck. You're playing 50 minutes in a 48-minute game.
No, you know what it is? The reason why he coaches like that is because he never had the opportunity to play minutes like that. So he's like, I'm playing these guys so much. That's what it is. He's just a basketball junkie, man. He loves hoop. He wants. And it's crazy because when I was on the board, I love the fact that he played me too much when he had to play me. I never wanted to come out. So you never heard me complain about him in minutes ever. I would never complain about minutes. If a coach wanted to play me the whole game, please, coach, please don't take me out. I would unless I asked to and I'm tired. I need to sub. If that, I want to play all the minutes. So I don't know what Jimmy Butler be tripping about. He playing too much now. I want to play every minute. I don't care. I don't care until I can't play basketball no more. I want to play every minute because that's how much I love the game.
When you were in Chicago, D Rose is there. Would D Rose give you buckets during practice?
Would D Rose give me buckets during practice? D Rose is a tough cousin. I don't remember him just giving me buckets because that was when he was rehabbing and he was coming back and he practiced with us when he was back. But he got buckets, but there's not too many people I never gave buckets to. Honestly, man, behind practices, in games. I done gave the best of the best buckets. So,
I bet healthy D-Rose would have given you buckets, though. KFC, Colonel
D-Rose,
Sanders,
healthy
buckets.
Healthy D-Rose would have been a tough cover. If it was a healthy D-Rose and a Nate Robinson with the green light with no consequences, I don't think there would be any guard that would not be able to see me. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
Really? So
I mean, I've done. I mean, go back to the games I played that coaches didn't fuck with me, and I still had a solid career over 11 years, averaged almost 11 points a game in 22 minutes. Come on, man, you do the math by points per minute.
Now, Nate,
you see how much? Oh, come on, bro.
Now, Nate, we talked about this in LA.
So you think you're the best guard ever?
No, I think I'm the best. I think I'm one of the best guards to come off the bench ever. I think I'm one of the best guards under 6 feet ever. Yes.
Oh, that's
I
for
do
sure.
believe that in myself for sure because that's how they label. That's how they label guard. You got to imagine Lou Williams is going to be. Oh, he's one of the best guys coming off the bench. Lou Williams is one of the best guards I've ever seen play the game, like for real, like really a hooper. Like, I won't say guard. I'll say one of the best hoopers that I've ever seen play. Kemba Walker is another one of the best hoopers, small guards that I've ever seen play the game. I mean, he's doing Iverson numbers right now like it's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of the best players that I've Isaiah Thomas, one of the best little guys I've ever seen. But they're going to label him as a little guy and not just a hooper like you would label Gilbert Arenas and Steve Nash and Jason Kidd and all the rest of the ghosts that played. They won't put you in that category because you're not tall enough. I think that's whack.
Would it be fair to say that you're the best guard to fuck girls that wear Birkenstocks?
Stop it. First of all, let me hit you guys with something. No, hear me out. If I was 6'9" with this same talent, how good do you think I could possibly have been?
Oh no! If you was 6'9", and that was
Darius Miles.
That was my
crazy. I would Darius Miles. I'll cook Darius Miles at 6'9". Anyway,
I mean, a foot is a lot, though.
Moving on. Honestly, at 5'9", and I've done scores 40s and 30s and dunked
it's
on
unbelievable.
At 6'9", I was 6'9" with the same talent. Nate Robinson at 6'9". Where do you guys would see my game? That's a real question.
I mean, honestly, if you're 6'9", you're LeBron.
You're Zion. You're LeBron.
Just like athletically speaking.
So
absolutely.
I'll be 6'9", Nate Robinson, cool, right? So what do you think my groupie rate would be if I was 6'9"?
We just said you're LeBron if you're 6'9".
because hey, exactly. At 5'9", sometimes the girls in the past because some of them be taller than me, so they be like, "Hold on, I like tall guys." And I'm like, "Baby, come on, baby. Laying down, we the same height in the bed. You lay down, we the same height in the bed."
Now, Nate, we had Carlos Boozer talk about this last week. We had Boozer talk about this last week, and he was talking about like the groupie tales and like the first time you experienced something in the hotel room where people were just waiting for you at their hotel. Could you share with us one of the craziest groupie tales you've ever experienced as a pro?
I'll say one time. I mean, let me see. I remember one time my rookie year, man, and we're coming back from going out or whatever, and I come back to we come back to the hotel, and there's literally, like in movies and cartoons, how in cartoons somebody getting chased and they go through one door and they go through the other door and they look, oh, he's in that door and they go to the open. That's what it was like that of nothing but girls going through different doors, and I'm like, man, is this real?
Now
like,
were you?
I'm a kid from Seattle. Like I ain't never seen that many girls and fine girls at that just going through this different door. I'm like, man, what is going on here?
What was it like the first time you left Seattle and you like saw a girl who actually shaved her box?
Man, honestly, I didn't know what to do. Honestly, I just didn't know. When I was a young kid, man, hairy bushes was the thing. Like, if it was grass on the field, it was like, oh wow, like you're doing something. And then when you got to the league, it was like all the girls are just Amber Rose head. Like, where did it go? Where did it go? So I thought it was the coolest thing ever, though. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I was like, that was pretty coal. Slippery when wet.
Oh my god.
Oh man. God damn. I don't know how to follow that.
Okay, I know your career high for points in a night. What's your career high for groupies in a night?
Man, what's my track record for groupies in a
Your
night?
career high one night.
One night? Let me see, man. You about to tell my nasty business all out for the world to know? I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that one.
So 5. Okay, good.
Plead the fifth on that one.
Yo,
Nate,
Nate.
you nasty. Nah, you won't catch me answering that one, guys.
Can I count it
Sorry.
on one hand?
I'm not saying anything at all, my brother. Next question. I'm gonna politely change the subject. Next question.
Media trained.
Okay, so Nate, before we don't want to take up too much of your time, man. We're so grateful that you came in here, but and just talk to us. But real quick, aspirations this year. You're rehabbing the meniscus. What is it you want?
Mm-hmm.
End of your career. What is it that you want while you're still playing?
Honestly, this is honestly what I want, and this is not. I don't want a handout. I don't want to. I really, honestly, next year, I just want a team to let me come to training camp, and I will do the rest.
Any particular?
That's the only thing. That's the only thing. If I'm praying for anything, I'm humbly getting on my knees, asking God, look, bro, I know I had my shot. I want to show them that I can still play at a high level at 34 years old. I'm in great shape, and I just want to play the game, and I want to lead the game the right way. Like they try to exile me like they do in Melo right now. They want Melo to lead. Like, no, he has too much basketball left. So I just want an opportunity to showcase that I can play because I'm going to keep going to the Drew League. I'm going to keep going to playing in other things until they open their eyes and let me in. I just want to play. I want a chance to showcase. I don't want a handout. I want to work to get back and show them that I can still play because I see guys right now in the league that are playing that I'm like, bro, I have cooked so many guards that's playing right now, and I'm like, bro, I don't understand what's the problem. So I don't know. I just want an opportunity to showcase that I can still do, and I've changed, and I matured a little bit more, and I just want a chance to play.
Can we talk a little bit about Melo before we get out of here? I know,
Sure.
you guys are, pretty cool, and you both had issues with D'Antoni, obviously. I mean, like, what's the issue with that over there? And if you were a GM or of some team, like, talk to me about that.
Honestly, I just know, like, being coached by D'Antoni and knowing how he is, man, and knowing, how he likes to handle situations like this, it just shows, like, his character as a I wouldn't say as a coach, as a human being, man, how he does people, how he does players, like. Him not giving me my real answer and why he didn't play me because he has no real reason why he sat me down. And I'm still waiting for my answer after 7 years later, So I know exactly, like, yeah, they asked Melo, they signed Melo in a year. Oh, we don't have no room for him or whatever. Yeah, right. You guys just, I don't know what the deal is over there. And maybe Melo don't want to take a lesser role. Sometimes less is more. I don't know what it really is. But I know for sure it's like, I know it's for Melo sense and how D'Antoni handles. I know it's probably bugging him a lot.
I honestly think D'Antoni tried to embarrass him.
He'll go cold.
He'll
go cold. He'll go cold on him and not want to answer, not want to talk. And it's like, bro, I'm trying to have meetings and trying to chat with you to figure out what's the solution so we can get better and move past this. But whenever a coach has the authority to paint a picture on your attitude and how you are as a person and as you are as a player, when they get the opportunity and they try to tarnish you, man, it's like they do a great job at doing that for people. I don't know, man. It sucks.
Do you think this is, in a way, payback? You think D'Antoni's given him some revenge from what happened in New York?
Possibly. Who knows? I mean, knowing how he handled my situation, could be. And I didn't even do anything to the man, and I don't know what Melo did anything to the man, but for him to handle this like this, like, come on, man. Carmelo Anthony's one of the best scorers that we've seen over years. One of the most beautiful jump shots, smooth, but can really ball. Like, come on, man. Like, how are you gonna make it seem like now Melo can't play basketball with a supposedly Hall of Famer and Chris Paul? And James Harden being over there, how do you not be able to play with those guys? But PJ Tucker can play over there, and all the rest of the guys can play, but Melo can't fit. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm not saying that PJ Tucker's trash. That's my guy. He can play.
Yeah.
But he's not a Carmelo Anthony. Let's just be real. He's not a Melo.
Right.
So I don't understand why other guys can fit in, but he can't. Like, it's like you're not wanting that piece of the puzzle to fit. when you got a great guy, you just got to figure out how to use him.
Right.
Nate, I got a question I got to ask you. It's not about basketball. You play football.
Man,
No, it's not about hoes. Not about hoes.
No more groupie love.
No. This is a question I legit want to ask as a fan of sports.
I'm gonna call you Ludacris, man. You talking about hoes?
I got
Different
hoes.
area.
No, this is a valid question.
Area.
And this is
What's
cool.
up?
This podcast, you get to ask questions that you always just think about to athletes, whatever. You played college football at a high level at Washington. You were a safety. 5'9" is not undersized for a safety, and you were really fucking good. Your pops played pro football.
I was a corner.
You were a
but
corner.
you could say
5'9", also good
Mhm.
for a corner. Do you ever think, what would it have been like if I played football? And if you do, what do you think you would have been better at?
All the time, man. I think about it all the time. Like, all my friends teased me growing up as a kid that I was way better in football. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I was way better in football than I was in basketball. So you can only imagine what I did on the basketball court. Just imagine that times 10 on the football field.
I mean, yeah, I look at a guy like Antoine Winfield. I watch a lot of football, but like I look at Antoine Winfield, I don't think he's as explosive as you. You're probably stronger. Like I think like this dude would be a fucking great corner. Do you ever regret? Do you ever be like, man, I should have fucking played in the NFL. I wouldn't be going through this. Nobody's gonna look at me and write me off.
Yeah, well, I would say I would be in between Deion Sanders, Patrick Peterson, and Honey Badger. Those would be I would be in between those three guys one of Leighton Deion because he's one of my favorite players, and that's who I idolized when I grew up. I wanted to be like him. I wore number 2 because of him. Honey Badger, he's a little guy. He's feisty. He knows how to play, tackle, tough, can cover. He can play safety, corner, nickel, all that. Patrick Peterson, just because he's so dope. So, I don't know, man. I wish I would have had the opportunity to do so, which I did, but I chose basketball because the reason why I chose basketball is because everybody told me I couldn't do it. Everybody told me I couldn't make it to the league. That's the only reason why I chose to play in the NBA. I wanted to try to show the world that I could do it because everybody was like, "Oh, you're too small. You're not a point guard. You're not a 2 guard. What are you? You're a tweeter. You don't know." Like, I'm a hooper. I don't care what y'all label me as. Put me on the court, and I'm gonna show you how hard I work and how I'm gonna bust everybody's ass that's in front of me. There's nobody that's gonna outwork me. There's nobody gonna talk more shit than me, and I'm gonna back it up by going out playing the way that I did, man. So I think I chose the right sport, but I definitely would have loved to go back in time in the time machine and go back and pick football and see what how my career would unfold.
Nate, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for coming on the
say,
show,
man.
Lots of laughs, man. It was pretty fun, man.
I'm a lifelong New Yorker and Knicks fan. You are one of the 5 Knicks jerseys that I've purchased in my life.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. You're on my Mount Rushmore of Knicks jerseys purchased. So
hey,
thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
That.
Yes, sir.
You are really,
it was an honor. It was so fun watching you play here in the Garden,
Thank you guys, man.
We're really happy to have you on the show, man. Thanks for coming on.
I think big things are going to happen for you, man. I think that you're going to have a great career after athletics, dude. I think you got a great personality, and
thank you, man.
Don't try to fold it into something that they want you to do. You know, if there's anything I've learned from the entertainment business is people are drawn like moths to a flame to authenticity. And
oh wow, okay.
You are your authentic self, and you like folding yourself into an inside the NBA role and that kind of shit like that. While it might be nice to be around the game, it's not true Nate. True Nate is you shaking Will Ferrell's hand at the Garden.
Come be on this podcast, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Your hand's always gone.
Whenever y'all want me on the podcast, man, just give me a call. Y'all got my number.
You're always welcome, man. Thank you so much for being part of this. We wish you best of luck. And
thank you, man.
All right, man. And we're going to videotape that one-on-one because Jimmer want the smoke.
Nah, Jimmer don't want no smoke. Jimmer better stay in China. Stay in China. Don't come to the States with that smoke because I watched Jimmer for that on that TBT. And he only had like 20 points, 18 points. Against real, regular, athletic guys that's after $2 million. So he went from China to scoring 80 to 20 off a big drop.
Yeah, that's facts. We're going to figure it out.
Big drop. Come on, Jimmer.
Thank you so much for being on, my brother. Be good.
All right, bro.
God bless, man.
Take it easy, man.
God bless.
Nate Robinson, everybody.
That was fun.
Yes, sir.
Nate Robinson. Listen, that's what we do. We give you
the greatest
goods.
athletes to ever lace up some basketball shoes. I'm talking about pure athlete.
Yo, who got better interviews than us,
Nobody,
man? I'm really
man.
trying to figure this out.
We got to get him
bro.
in studio, man.
Next
Yeah.
time he's in New York, let's have him in.
Let's
So
do it.
much to talk about. We want to keep going. Akash has to hop on a flight
I'm going to be leaving about
in like
18 minutes.
18
probably.
minutes.
Okay.
So let's get right into it.
Yeah.
This is something I wanted to talk to. Excuse me. This is something I wanted to talk to Nate about, but we didn't get the chance to do it. Kyrie or Kemba?
Yeah, he mentioned Kemba being a baller. I want to know his take on that.
Throughout my entire time watching the NBA and both of their careers.
Wait, before we get into this,
yes.
can I just say how happy I am that New York City area point guards are once again dominating again? Though. That used to be our shit. Like growing up,
That's all
it was
we had.
Like, we had New York City point, and then there was a lull for a while.
Right.
Like, oh, New York doesn't really produce.
Can
pros
I
like
just say
that.
how sad
Now
it is?
look.
Can I just say
Now
how
look.
sad it is that you're throwing Newark into New York City area?
No. Well, Kyrie's not from Newark. He's from. He played in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Okay,
so,
well, still
like,
Jersey.
Still
So
Jersey.
further away.
I
We'll
said
take
New
the
York City
tri-state area.
Tri-state
We'll take it,
area.
okay?
They all
Not
know what it
everybody's from a
is.
massive state like Texas.
Like
you know?
Texas.
So here's the thing, right? Kyrie or Kemba. My whole life, I obviously love, not my whole life, but last, let's say 5 years watching both of them play. I love Kyrie's sneakers. I love the fact that he was on winning teams with LeBron.
Yep.
I am in love with his game. I just think his game is so awesome. And he's been part of winning teams, so I gravitated toward Kyrie, and I gave him some of the credit for those winning teams, and as he should deserve it.
Yeah.
He hits a game-winning shot against the Warriors, he balls out, etc. Watching Kyrie play this year and watching Kemba play this year, I don't think Kyrie's better. I also don't think Kemba's ever had a squad that even closely resembles what Kyrie has had, except when Kyrie was on Cleveland by himself and they were the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
I'm starting to process this information. I'm going, holy shit.
Yeah.
Kemba is better than Kyrie. Kemba just put up, what was it the other night?
60,
41, 43.
Yeah,
This guy is giving buckets. His game, he's a better shooter off the dribble from three.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
From three
I
off the
wouldn't
dribble?
say that. Oh, no.
I think so.
I wouldn't say that.
I think so.
I'd say Kyrie's the better shooter of the two. I say Kemba is probably he's just as creative as Kyrie. I won't take away anything from is
I think Kyrie's more creative, but I think Kemba's more explosive.
of
so
the
what,
two.
Yeah.
Kemba has the more unstoppable move. That fucking step back. That same step back he's been hitting since UConn.
Yes.
He has been destroying people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
the
he's a
league with
better
that.
shooter off the dribble. You're saying he's a better
But
shooter off the dribble.
it's just a step back. You know what I mean?
Still dribbling.
Kyrie could cross you up, fucking do a million things,
Right.
pull up on a dime. Like he's almost like I wouldn't say he's Steph-like, but he can have like Steph-like nights. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I think that if we really want to break it down, Kemba's better at every aspect of the game offensively. We just never gave him credit because he never won.
And he played in Charlotte.
And he played in Charlotte. And we gave Kyrie credit for LeBron's winning
Yeah.
When is Kemba free?
this
This
year.
year, they're
This
both,
is the contract
they're both free
year.
agents. Yeah.
And that's why the fuck he's going in.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I need that
And
Supermax.
get that Supermax from Charlotte. Yeah.
And Jordan said he wants to keep him, but I've heard rumors that he's going to end up going to either the Knicks or possibly Toronto.
I could see Kemba in New York.
Him and Lowry together?
I think Lowry's got one more left.
Yeah.
Is this Lowry's last year?
But it's different. You know what it is? We're in
Is it?
we're in a weird
I don't know.
We're in a weird like position right
Yeah,
now
yeah.
in the NBA where I think Kyrie and Kyle Lowry work together. You know what I mean?
Kyrie? I was saying
not
Kemba.
Kyrie.
Yeah,
Kemba
yeah,
and
yeah.
Kyle Lowry could work together.
Because Kemba's a 2
yeah, he's really a
and
two.
Kyle is a true 1.
Yeah.
Kyle will score if he has to, but
Yeah.
he would rather distribute.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah, they could work.
And defense is dead. So it's like you
don't
don't
matter
really,
who's
you
playing
don't
D at
really
all.
give like doesn't matter.
I mean,
you know what I mean? And,
give
and,
Kyle his credit. Kyle's a dog.
Yeah,
He'll go after it
absolutely.
on D.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Kemba's
but, like
gonna.
you
yeah.
got Kawhi Leonard on your team too, so he's taking somebody away. You know what I mean? And you could just free up Kemba to do what he's doing in Charlotte right now.
Cook.
But you also have probably the second best player in the league in Kawhi Leonard
To that
doing
point,
the same thing.
you know who they close out games with? Charlotte.
Who?
Tony Parker,
Right.
Kemba
Right.
Walker.
Yeah.
And it works. beautifully.
The league, it's a ball handler league now, man.
Wow.
We don't do
Wow.
like we're like 3, maybe 4 years away from just doing away with positions.
Facts.
It's just going to be 5 ball players on the floor.
Yes.
And just go. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of teams are running 2 ball handler offenses. A lot of teams are running with, like, just the standard point guard has to be the shortest guy, shooting
Right.
guard, second tallest guy, small forward, the most versatile, power forward, you got in the block, center in the middle.
Yeah.
Those days are dead.
Done.
Like, those are now you got 5 guys on the outside.
Yes.
You got 4 guys on the outside and maybe 1 dude in the middle who just patrols the paint.
This is,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is so true.
So Lowry and I could see
it's
I
potential.
can see him going to Toronto. I can see Kyle and Kemba working
Listen,
together.
can you imagine Kemba Walker in a Knicks jersey, a guy who's from Mount Vernon?
No. Harlem.
Oh, he
Kemba
went to
Walker's from
school.
Harlem. He went to school at Rice, Harlem.
No, but his high school was
Rice,
up in.
No, Kemba Walker went to Rice High School in Harlem, New York. Kemba's from Harlem. He's a Harlem boy.
I thought he's Mount Vernon.
Nah, that's you might be thinking of somebody else.
I gotta
Kemba
look
Walker
this
went
up.
to Rice.
Here's
High school.
one question I want to pose. While only one of y'all needs to look this up, quite frankly. But who would getting Kemba keep you from getting Kevin Durant?
The Knicks, yeah,
He went to Rice.
I think so. I think the Knicks.
And just Googled it.
I think they'd
I
have
wanna know where
to
he's from.
renounce cancer's rights or something like that. I think they'd have to renounce Enos cancer.
He's from the Bronx.
From the Bronx. My fault, not Harlem. Sorry, Bronx.
Yeah, he's-
Sorry, Jesus Amiro.
Sorry, decent.
Yeah,
They'd
Bronx
fucking
winning,
kill me.
yo.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, and Nate just sent us a text, man. Like, he said, bro, that was the most lit podcast I've ever done outside of Hold That. I wish we could talk freely like that, bro. I hate that I have to keep it cool, but that was fun. Hell yeah.
We get him in studio.
Yo.
Do an episode with him. I want to talk NBA with this dude,
Oh, yeah.
unfiltered.
Oh yeah, we will. We're gonna get him back, bro. We're gonna get him back. So, yeah, I think the Knicks would have to renounce cancer's rights. They have money already. They're stretching out Noah's contract, so it's possible. It's not probable, but it's possible that they can get. You know, they can get both, but I don't see it happening. The way Kemba's playing, he's gonna get his $200 million next year, and it's
Dude.
not gonna be from the Knicks.
We'll see. We'll see. All I'm saying is Kemba, Bronx kid, putting up 60 in the Garden.
They build a statue of him tomorrow.
Unfucking real. And the thing about him, which is like, I see, and we'll get into this, but I see Kyrie's body either falling apart or, best case scenario, he is trying to play himself back into shape.
Which he is.
Let's give him benefit of the doubt.
He hasn't proven himself to be able to hold up through an entire season yet.
Because he can.
Yeah.
But let's give him benefit of the doubt. He's playing himself back into shape, speed, agility. Let's say that. Kemba Walker, for the extent of his career,
Yeah.
has been one bouncy motherfucker.
Yeah.
This guy,
He's built like a rock.
pogo
he's
stick. Boing,
deceptively-
boing, 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 boing. Like you said, that step back,
Yeah.
it's not even a step back. It's a fucking leap back.
Yeah.
You're getting 5 feet of separation.
He's the only person I see go from the fucking go hit the free throw line
And then three.
bounce to the 3 on the one step, and that's why everybody who guards it and falls the exact same way. Because people aren't supposed to. You're not supposed to be
Same
that
way.
fucking
You can't do it.
agile.
You're going to get the
with
separation.
the ball. Yeah.
And that
he's-
point in time, it's like, can you get the ball set so you can have a good look at the shot? And
he gets his shot off so quick.
he got it. Yo, this
'Cause
guy's
it's-
nice,
yeah,
right?
he's super
And I
nice.
just think he should be in the conversation of top guards, especially with Kyrie. And I'll be honest with you, I think Kyrie has really benefited from that LeBron James shadow, that nice LeBron James umbrella, which kind of protects you from many of the weak parts of your game. It protects you when you're injured. You can't carry the team. He protects you defensively. He protects you offensively in a lot of ways. You get a lot of open room when you're with LeBron. You get a lot of one-on-ones with LeBron.
I mean, you're also paying for ability. What do they say? Half of ability is availability or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Just
ability
show it
without
up.
availability. Kyrie always hurt. Kemba. I don't know a lot of season-ending injuries for Kemba.
Oh, nothing. And
To be fair, though, he hasn't been really counted on to do much.
who?
Kemba. You know what I mean? Like
expectations have been low.
as much as I'm a huge Kemba fan.
Sure.
As much as I love him, I haven't seen him in enough high pressure situations like I've seen Kyrie and like I've seen other top point guards in. So I'm enjoying this run he's on right now, and I'm glad he's getting his flowers that he hasn't gotten in the past few seasons as one of like the top guards. But part of that is like we still got to see him do this in playoff time. We still got to see him carry a team literally. You know, into May and June and do something.
And now he has a little help, man. Now he's got some veteran leadership on the team. You know, like Tony's not going to play 40 minutes a game, but you give Tony 20, 25 minutes.
He'll get
He
you
can
there.
really help that team.
Yeah.
And he can, and like the other night in Kemba's big game, excuse me, Tony scored 4 points in a row. End of possession. I think there's like almost less than a minute left. Kemba is cooked. Kemba put up 40, 50, whatever the fuck it was that night. Maybe it was a 60-point game. Kemba, some of these guys are exhausted.
Yeah.
You need someone else who can get buckets.
Absolutely.
Tony can get you
and
buckets.
I think he's getting help. I think, and I'm gonna put on my clairvoyant
tinfoil hat.
Yeah. Tinfoil hat. I think they make a run at Bradley Beal and bring him to Charlotte.
Ooh, a nice shooter. Because here's the thing with Bradley. Bradley, you can put in anywhere.
Yeah.
A tall guy who can shoot the ball and create his own shot.
Yeah.
I don't see a team in the league that can't use that in some capacity.
Once they heard that Bradley Beal was available, every competitor should be like, anybody except our top guy will give you for him because he fits in anywhere. And the fact that he's not working in Washington right now, I don't know what that says about Scott Brooks.
Go on Washington.
I don't know what that says about John Wall.
Go on that.
You know what I mean?
Go on that right now.
Yeah, like
as soon as you get back, I'm gonna bounce.
So the Wizards, man, like they've always been this team that we're always supposed to look at in this like light of being one of the top teams in the East, right? I like John Wall. I feel like I like the idea of John Wall more than I actually like John Wall.
I love John Wall's athleticism. I love his speed.
I love his attitude. Love how he plays.
He seems to always have problems with somebody.
Yeah, like it's always, and I don't know if it's like this. I don't want him to suffer the same fate Melo suffered because that's where I see it going. You know what I mean? Like I see it going where it's like he's really fucking good. He's really fucking good, but I almost feel like the perception of him is gonna end up fucking him when people aren't willing to deal with his skill anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like you look at Melo, and for a long time, a lot of people who didn't like the Knicks. It's not that they didn't like the Knicks. They just didn't like Melo. They didn't like the way he carried himself. They didn't like the way he was fucking smiled all the time. They thought he was lazy. You know what I'm saying? Thought he could have did more to get his teams in the playoffs. And I feel like that narrative's kind of going.
Where would you want John Wall to go?
Here's the thing. I don't think there's anywhere he can go. I think he's in the same Melo position where it's
what would you trade for John Wall in that contract?
Nothing.
Who like maybe would LeBron want him?
I don't.
He seems to have point guards he likes already.
He signed the Supermax. Like he's got
Supermax, or was it just a max?
He signed a Supermax, so he's getting $40+ million next year.
You're not going anywhere.
And he has a 15% trade kicker after that. So anybody who trades for him is taking on 15% of that salary.
You would have to give me shit. If I'm a rebuilding team, I might. Even then, you can fuck up my tank.
Yeah, it's like the tank's fucked up already. You know what I mean? Like if you're John Wall, you're stuck in Washington, and you know what I mean. You're either you just got to play through it and don't turn into Melo. Not for nothing. Like Melo signed that big deal with New York when he could have waited. You know what I mean?
You'd have to trade John Wall to a tanking team, and then they would buy him out.
Exactly.
They buy out his Supermax.
You gotta wait until like he's on like the second or last year of his contract to even make a trade for him. I think he's stuck. I think Bradley Beal's out of there. I think he's ready to go. I think he's ready to try and be a top banana somewhere.
Bradley Beal. Where would you like to see Bradley Beal?
Oh, man.
So many places I'd like to see him.
There's a lot of places.
Man, him and LeBron would actually be.
I would love to see him in LA. I would love to see him in LA.
That's exactly who LeBron would like to play with.
He's the perfect like complement. Like if you can't get everybody's talking like Klay Thompson.
Yep.
If you can't get Klay Thompson, Bradley Beal's like the other perfect guy to get. I like to see him in Charlotte with Kemba.
Yep.
I'd like to see him. Like he's such a good. Like I'd like to see him in Miami. You know what I mean? Like I think Miami is like one stud away from being a legit Eastern Conference team.
Like that.
That's the thing, though.
They're old. Udonis Haslem is kind of a head case to me. Like I don't know, man.
I mean, they are old, but it's like they got a lot of like nice pieces. Like Josh Richardson's a nice piece.
Yeah.
Goran Dragic's old, but he's a nice piece. Fucking Hassan Whiteside, a nice piece.
I just think Whiteside's might be a cancer, man.
It was also kind
of. You know,
of
what's also
a
funny?
cancer,
Didn't
too.
Dwight Howard just go to Washington and then everything fell completely apart? Is he the real Melo?
The Dwight Howard curse lives.
Dwight Howard ain't Superman. Dwight Howard is kryptonite.
And you know where he just left? Charlotte. And now look at
And now Kemba flourishing.
And now Kemba's looking like a fucking MVP candidate, man. Like
Kemba is flourishing.
It's crazy where it's like, you know, the Wizards for the past couple of years, they've went from, okay, maybe they're underrated to they had one season where they were really good. Like, oh shit, they might actually knock down the door. And then they muddled through the season for a while, and then I think it was the Celtics that they took to 7, or they took some top East team to 7 games, and we're like, oh yeah, next year is their year.
Oh yeah, the Wizards took the Celtics to 7.
They took the Celtics
and
7.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure John Wall had a bad game and Bradley Beal had a great game in Game 7.
Yeah. They balled. Well, one of them balled out and one of them didn't. And I was like, yeah, no, this is they're here now. They're a piece away. Like Otto Porter was coming around. Kelly Oubre is a nice piece. And then you got 2 studs, John Wall and Bradley Beal. I'm like, okay, they took them to 7 next year. They've tasted that. They knocked on the door. They kicked the door down next year. And now they're like 3-13.
It's completely falling apart. As soon as they got Dwight Howard, it was all over.
Yeah, like Dwight is the motherfucker. He is the curse of Dwight is the gift that keeps on giving. If you're trying to fucking
Tankathon Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
I gotta fucking leave for the airport. Andrew taking a shit, so I don't know what to do.
I mean, just rock out, man. Me and Eden will talk until.
All right. In the meantime, sorry I had to leave early. In fairness, everybody else was late, not me. I gotta go. Happy Thanksgiving. If this is gonna drop Friday, so tomorrow, Dallas Hyenas Comedy Club in Plano. I'm coming back home. I'm headlining.
Yes, sir.
Let's get fucking wild. Let's have fun. I need all the assholes to come through.
Dallas, you better sell that bitch out, dog. Sell that bitch out, Dallas.
I
Show
gotta
them what
go.
the assholes are about in Texas.
Fly to Texas right now. I gotta go. This airport traffic gonna be crazy. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Everybody who supported the Patreon, thank y'all so much. Without y'all, I literally wouldn't be able to afford this ticket. So I'm thankful for y'all, man. I really do appreciate everything you guys have done. God bless.
All right, man. Akash is heading out. I might head out soon once Andrew gets here and finishes wiping his ass.
Nah, man, there's too much to talk about, Cass.
There's a lot to talk about, man. Also, where the fuck we got
You
here,
were late
man?
to us. Be late to whoever you going next. I got a whole list of topics.
I was not super. Oh shit, Alex Smith. So let's talk about Alex Smith for a little bit. All right.
I think
Akash,
the
take it
Skins
easy.
might be fine without Alex Smith. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. I think they might be fine with Colt McCoy.
Colt
I don't
McCoy's
believe in
all
Alex
right.
Smith like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like Alex Smith isn't some
That's all I'm
world
saying.
beater that everyone's like, oh man, we're not gonna win without Alex Smith. You know what I mean? Like he's good. He's somebody who could just fucking, right the ship or man the ship until people get back. He will never lose you a game. He'll never win it for you either. There you go, right on time. So I'm talking about Alex Smith a little bit, and Akash left on the thought. I guess we're just shitting on Washington sports right now.
Did you read the statistic though?
What's the statistic?
The injury. I mean, you said what happened, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get the exact image up, but essentially, the injury happened.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the exact. Okay, Joe Theismann and Alex Smith
Right.
both had the same leg snapped
On the same
on
day.
the same exact day of the year on the same yard line
And he was there to watch.
in games that ended with the same exact final score
Wow.
while being tackled by the only 2 3-time Defensive Player of the Year winners in NFL history. Let me rephrase this. 33 years ago from Alex Smith's injury to the day, quarterback Joe Theismann, who was the quarterback of the Redskins,
yeah.
got the exact same leg snapped.
Tackled by Lawrence Taylor.
Talking about Lawrence Taylor, who was a 2-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year winner. On the exact yard line in a game which ended
With the exact same score.
Is that not fucking freaky?
That is just poetry right there. That's like that's almost. I wouldn't. God, sometimes the universe, wherever you believe in, man, like there's certain things that are just fucking unavoidable,
dude.
And it's like,
if you even look at Alex Smith's injury, right?
It almost bent the exact
odd,
same way.
But it's odd the way it broke, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just odd the way it broke. It's not like he was hit on that part of his knee and then it snapped from the hit.
Yeah.
It was like pressure, but
it compounded.
Yeah, it was just so odd the way it broke.
It was
anyway. Things like that are just so astonishing. And there's a shot of Joe Theismann up there.
Yeah,
in the
watching
booth,
it, just and he tweeted like it looks just like my injury from 33 years ago. It's insane.
Oh my god!
To the day. Don't play the lotto, bro.
Damn.
Don't walk under no ladders.
I don't be fucking with those ladders.
If a black cat walks past you, Alex Smith, just go the other way, roll the other way, or something like
real fucking.
Oh
talk,
my
man.
goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's just a crazy thing that happened.
Sucks for him.
Something
they were top of the division too. I think they'll be all right though. Akash was saying that like they got Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
As the backup, Mark
it's
Sanchez.
not like Alex Smith is such a fucking revolutionary quarterback that the team cannot respond.
Just don't lose them the game. That's Alex. That's Alex Smith. Manage like a motherfucker.
Substitute.
He may not win it for you, but he ain't gonna blow it for you.
You don't got to raise my kids. Just watch them.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of these quarterbacks are.
So let's talk about Monday night.
Talk to me. Greatest Monday night football game in history?
Greatest Monday night football game in history.
Was it?
Yeah,
to you,
by far,
without a doubt. Okay,
I like ran home from Raw, and like luckily, like the hotel's right next to Staples Center,
right,
and the game was down a few miles away from it, in USC. And I'm like, this game is still going on. I look at the score; it's like 47-44.
Unfucking.
I'm like, and you know what's beautiful about it? I don't know the ratings, so I'm just gonna guess that was probably one of the most watched.
Had to be
NFL game. It was hyped.
Had to be.
It surpassed the hype. It had two young quarterbacks, two young fucking, two dynamic offenses.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think this is the equivalent of the first time the NBA put the Phoenix Suns on national television, and it was like, wow, look at what Steve Nash is doing. Look at what these guys are doing. They're just running up the score. They're just doing this and that. And Roger Goodell's probably watching like, wow, look at all this. Look at the score. Look how many people are watching. Look how hyped this is. We got Jay-Z here. Warren Buffett's here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like in L.A.
This is the benefit, Kaz, of having a football franchise in Los Angeles.
And people thought it wouldn't work. People said people in L.A. did not care about football. There was a lot of buzz in that city.
They might not care about football. They might not care about basketball, Kaz, but you know what they care about is being at the place to be. And they lucked out.
Yeah.
And they have a great coach, and they have a really good team that has now made it the place to be. And there is nothing people in L.A. like more than being at the hip restaurant, the hip club, or the hip football game. And that is the game. And these little memes that you see, these little Instagram posts, like remember when YG was freaking out in the end zone?
Yeah, when he fucking dapped him after the touchdown. Was it I forgot who it was, Brandon Cooks or somebody.
So that kind of stuff, and you are a marketing guru, in my opinion.
Thank you.
You let's say you are running marketing for the LA Rams.
Yeah.
And you see that moment in the M zone. You're salivating. Am I wrong?
Because that's cultural. Every football team, every sports team wants to feel culturally invested in where their team is.
You're watching from the booth and you see this happening. What immediately? What's your eye? What is going through your mind?
I'm like, okay, we have our moment that connects the actual current pop culture with a brand new team. Not a brand new team, but a
new
city. Yeah. A team in a brand new city.
Yeah.
And that's like fucking, it's like Jack Nicholson being at Showtime games for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking Spike Lee being at the fucking
We found our celebrity We found our
guy.
Yes.
We got our guy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, not only just for LA, the entire NFL. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a major moment for a league that has a huge rift.
With
the black community.
With many things.
Right.
It's the black community, and I'm not gonna say like, you know what, that's gonna heal all the fucked up shit that's
Again,
going
you're
on.
not giving opinion. I'm just saying strictly objective marketing.
Oh, for sure.
perspective.
For sure. Yeah. That helps. It
Yes.
doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the reason why a lot of people turn away from football. It's too violent. You know what I mean? It's a lot of defense, a lot of concussions
Yes.
out of this. Ain't no concussions when you're running up 50-point scores and nobody playing no defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to see that no more. People don't want to see Alex Smith, like, turn into Linguini. You know what I'm saying? You want to see motherfucking Patrick Mahomes launching 60-yard bombs to Kareem Hunt and
Tyreek.
fucking throwing motherfuckers the peace sign as he runs into the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't, like, we were so conditioned. We talked about it before. When we were younger, we used to love watching those fucking highlight tapes of people getting smashed
Yes.
and hit, and like
Yes.
that was our shit. They
Yes.
made whole fucking franchises off of that shit.
Yes.
Now that we're grown and there's more research out there, and we see like, hey man, like motherfuckers are like dying from
Yes.
this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So let's
how is
see
this?
some offense.
This was something that we talked about a lot when we
Yes.
first started this podcast.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't even know if the NFL is going to last another 5 years.
Yes.
At
Well,
that
if
rate.
they're 50-point games, it's going to be here for a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not going anywhere. If everybody turns into what the NBA is now, where like every game is like 120 to 110 or whatever, and you know everybody's like, and the refs are like swallowing their whistles. You can't touch the quarterback. You can't hit late. You can't do this. You can't do that. We just want to see motherfucking long balls
Launch it.
and long plays.
Launch
dog.
it.
We want to see arena football with the ESPN budget, with the
Do you
Disney
think-
budget.
Do you think that they would go so far as to change the defense to change defensive rules to set up situations where there's much more one-on-one coverage downfield?
Oh, for sure, because they're not gonna want to. You're not gonna want to set up one of your players to have to Clay Matthews your shit, where you're like, fuck, do I hit? Look, catch out.
Yes,
You know what
yes,
I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's just like, fuck it. That's your guy. Guard him. You know what I mean? And if he burns you, so what? We'll burn him back when
Do
we get
get
back.
rid of safeties? Or
I
do
don't think we get rid of safeties.
because
'Cause
if
you
you really want the ball to go downfield,
Take the top off.
take the top off, Kaz.
Yeah, take the top off. But I mean,
It would change the game dramatically, and it would change the quarterback position dramatically because there wouldn't be
course.
any of these flimsy arm quarterbacks
yeah,
who
no
can
more
throw these
dink and
7-arm
dunks,
routes.
bro. No more dink and dunks. Everybody's gonna be fucking Patrick Mahomes. who
Russell.
can launch it from 80 feet on one knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Chiefs. That's like, fuck it. You got a guy with a rocket arm. You got Kareem Hunt who can blow by
Tyreek Hill.
anybody. Tariq Hill who
Bye.
can blow by anybody. And you just let that
They
shit
got
fly.
legs. That's the thing about the Chiefs. They got legs, and they
Mm-hmm.
got a guy who can get it to them.
Jared Goff, first round pick. Was he number 1 overall? Or something? He was a top 10
He's
pick,
up there.
some shit like that. He was highly touted for a while.
Yes, but they also got a genius coach.
You
That
got a
like the new
young
school,
fucking
yeah.
prodigy coach.
Yeah,
You got an all-world running back in Todd Gurley.
Mm-hmm.
You got Brandon Cooks, who's fast as fuck. You got the white guy Rupp, who's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, the NFL, and I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that this past Monday night game is one of the most pivotal games for the future of that league. You know what I mean? Like, those two guys, Mahomes and Goff, might be your Manning and Brady of the next 10,
That's what we would love
15
them to
years.
be, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
the Rams and the Chiefs, it's a new city. It's a new fucking atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like, you just brought Showtime to them.
Yes.
In football form.
Yes.
Like, the NFL, and that's why everybody wants the Knicks to be so good so bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
It's good for the sport.
it's good for the sport when the major markets have great teams. It's good for the sport when LeBron James is on the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for the sport when the best NFL team is in Los Angeles.
Because whether you like it or not, media outlets are obsessed with celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who's not showing up to a Cleveland Cavaliers game at home? Celebrities. You know
Facts.
who is showing up to one in New York?
All of them.
All of them.
All of
L.A. All
Yeah.
of them. You know what I mean? Miami, you might get it a little bit.
You got Jay-Z out there on the field after he just told the NFL, fuck them. Fuck the NFL. I'm not doing your Super Bowl. Not doing shit. Oh, but I got Todd Gurley. I got Ndamukong Suh, Those are my athletes.
So I'll say hi.
I'll have my field pass.
I'll get some bread off of y'all.
Yeah, like it's that game, man. I'm telling you, like the NFL, the past 2-3 years with everything, with the kneeling and the tension between the owners and everybody, that one game could set a precedent that could really change that league for the better. And the league's already doing fine amongst all that controversy.
Yep.
That could take it to another fucking
And they
golden
need
age.
the momentum because I'm not saying the XFL is a guaranteed success. It's by far a guaranteed success. I mean, you really got to earn your keep out here. But the trend of the NFL was down.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The NBA was taking a lot of motherfucking. They was taking a lot of that. They still weren't the top dogs. NFL was still top
but
dog.
NBA became
their growth.
All year round sport.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years, it became something we talked about all year round. It wasn't seasonal. NFL has always been 365 days a year. And now it's got another sport to compete 365 days with.
Yeah.
But if you have Monday Night Football games like that, if you have even a few games like that a Sunday.
If that was a Super Bowl, that'd be called the greatest game ever played. If that was a Super Bowl. And that was the Monday night game.
Dude, it was like watching a college game.
Yeah. Yeah, and motherfuckers love college football. And that's why it's fun, because it's like you could just get behind any team, and it's going to be run-up scores and all that type of shit.
So why don't they do the same thing? I mean, I guess they are. They are doing the same thing.
Refs are going to start swallowing their whistles.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're copying
I'm not swallowing,
the NBA.
but they're gonna be throwing a shit ton of like, dog, you're not hitting my quarterback.
Not hit my quarterback, but also like the NBA essentially set up rules to allow scoring because they realize how much the fans like scoring.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
zone.
football is a distraction and a form of entertainment. You create whatever rules that allow it to be the most distracting and the most entertaining.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the rules of football are not a fucking constitution that I have the right to bear arms.
Nah.
I have the right to murder a quarterback. It's not how it works,
Nah.
right? You tweak the rules to make it fun.
Yeah.
And if fun is 50-50, right? If fun is 7 touchdowns each team, then let's go.
If you're raising the kids right now, before I used to be like, you know what, I'm not having my kids play no football or whatever. Give that kid a football. Let him be a quarterback. They're gonna protect that motherfucker.
Oh, facts.
They're gonna make sure that motherfucker never gets touched. Because we want to see high scores.
Yeah.
We don't want to see concussions. We don't want to see people's legs getting turned into fucking pretzels.
And bro, we act like it's impossible to tackle without giving someone a concussion. It really ain't that hard.
That ain't
bro.
that hard. It ain't that hard.
It really, I mean, these linemen make a big stink about it. It ain't that hard to like not drive someone into the earth when you tackle them.
I mean, they're trying to make a play. That's the only thing. They're trying to make a play.
But look,
you can still make a play.
Damn, we've seen.
I just thought we're just gonna give up a shit ton of those because we want to see touchdowns. We want to see home. Same thing with baseball,
guys.
We want to see dingers.
Dingers all day homer. I've seen D linemen tackle a quarterback by grabbing onto their pants.
Yeah.
If you can grab onto a quarterback's pants with 2 of your fingers and pull them to the ground, I'm pretty sure you can do it.
And trust me,
Without
a lot
driving
of quarterbacks, 80% of quarterbacks,
they're ready to go down.
They're ready to go
Fam,
down.
they ain't fighting you.
I ain't fighting you.
You want to
bro.
drive Big
So
Ben
you got a
into
head
the
on me?
earth? Boom.
All right, I'm
There's
good.
a couple quarterbacks you got to drive into the ground.
You got to give Cam Newton
Roethlisberger,
a couple extra.
Cam, the big
Andrew
motherfuckers.
Luck, you know, you got to give him a little couple
Because Luck
extra.
is too dumb to just go down. But Eli,
Eli,
you could just be like, yo, I'm coming. He'd be like, all right, you got it. Tapped out. He can't wait. Can't wait to be on the
I
ground.
can't wait for this next down, just so
Damn.
I can yell at motherfucker. They got to block me. It's y'all fault. It ain't my fault. I'm 45. I can't throw for shit, but it's y'all fault.
So NFL might have a future.
They might.
Do the Warriors. Warriors lose 3 straight when we were recording Monday, right?
They lost another one, and they fined KD for telling the fan to shut the fuck up and enjoy the game.
I saw that, which I'm fine with. I think that you should be able to, if you're not going to kick fans out for cursing at players
Yeah.
or fine them or do something to punish them, and don't get me wrong, I'm someone who loves to curse at players, but I don't get upset if a player curses at me. If I'm telling a player the whole game, suck my dick.
Let me earn it.
Suck my dick, fuck you, you ain't shit. And a player comes back to me and quite politely says, hey, shut the fuck up and watch the fucking game. That's the nicest thing you can say to someone who you've been telling to suck your dick the whole fucking game. Like, that's a punch in the face.
Like that is definitely the Michael J. Fox "Don't Call Me Chicken" of 2018. Like, you tell a grown man in 2018 to suck my dick.
Or whatever they're saying. You talking real reckless to these players, and you think just because you bought a ticket, they're not going to snuff you.
Oh, yeah.
That's how short our memories are, man, from Malice in the Palace. Because I think you need a Malice in the Palace every once in a while to like, fam, just to remind these new
just reset the fucking
seats.
the laws of the jungle. Like, hey, you sit there and enjoy the show.
Okay.
You don't disrespect me. You don't get punched in the face.
Very
because
simple.
If this wasn't for this little imaginary barrier, a fan and
I'm tight off
athlete,
of that. You can't. No, you really cannot. I think that's one of the few times where I've seen who's the current commish.
Adam Silver.
Silver fuck up. And he's usually been really good and really pro player. He's usually been really pro player. But this is the first time I've seen him side with a player where I didn't think it was fair. I would love Silver to come out and say, you want to know something? Why don't we have the people in the front row stop cursing out our players, and you won't have an issue with our players asking them or suggesting that they just watch the game. He didn't even snitch on them and say kick him out.
So they do have a code of conduct that they play. You know, they're like, hey, or it's on the back of your ticket, like, hey, you have this ticket. Yada,
Who's
yada,
policing
yada.
it? Ain't no rest for the stands. We got rest for the players, but we don't have rest for the stands.
And then when the player fucking comes and is like, hey, this guy's telling me to suck his
now
dick.
He look like a bitch.
Now he looks like a fucking asshole. You know
so
what I mean?
He, like a man, came to him and said, yo, first of all, you established the cursing. Yep. You're already cursing to me.
Yep.
So cursing's on the table now. You know what I mean? You already cursing me. Hey, shut the fuck up. Watch the fucking game.
Yeah.
That is grown man conversation.
Of course.
And did you see the bitch that this dude was in the crowd go, how could you? Oh, ain't no plexi. This ain't hockey. Do you know what I mean? You are touchable.
This chair almost fucking fell.
Did it really? Oh no, I just dropped a little. That's usually what happens to me. All I'm saying, you.
Oh God, I thought I was gonna take a tumble.
You straight, son. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna let you rock. All I'm saying is, you could get touched out here, and these people in the front row are very brave, very brave,
The bravest.
So
absolutely.
I'm 100% with it. I like when I'm in the front row, or I'm not front row, but I can sit pretty close to some of these games. I love a good shit talk, and I'm shit talking everybody, but. My goal is being funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it in a way where I'm not doing it in a way where I literally want to offend you and I want us to have a fight. I'm gonna talk shit about the other team, but you gonna know I'm a Knicks fan and I'm supporting my Knicks.
Exactly.
You know, I might even
Just be
call
clever,
us bums.
dude. Like,
yeah.
if you're clever, like even the fucking player would be like, all right, that was good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's it. And sometimes they'll
Yeah.
laugh. Sometimes I have
Exactly.
some fun.
Exactly.
This guy is just being straight disrespectful, and Kevin, who can be a little sassy and he can be a little bit of a diva, I thought had a very reasonable response.
I've heard that. I've heard that conversation many times and see the end many different ways. That not being one of them. A lot of times it's, hey, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
When was the last time you talked shit to a dude who was 7 feet tall? Right?
I've never talked shit to anybody 7 feet tall.
Facts. That don't happen.
Ever. It just doesn't happen in life. No.
When was the last time, but hypothetically, you talked shit to a dude 7 feet tall, and then he came back to you and he said, "Hey man, do me a favor, just shut the fuck up."
No.
That is a gift.
That's it. Exactly.
That is a gift. You know what I'm saying?
Because he'll take like his 7'9" wingspan and fucking hold you up like Dalcem on the wall. Like, yeah. That's the end of that fucking conversation.
So the Warriors can come back from this. Obviously, they win in the championship.
They're gonna win the championship
This is
as
nothing.
always.
This is just a minor riff.
Of course.
I don't know if I spoke about this on the last podcast. I forget, but I think that Brad Stevens, how overrated Brad Stevens is of a coach, how overrated Brad Stevens is as a coach is finally coming to light. Brad Stevens is a great strategist.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he might be the perfect assistant coach.
Okay.
He might be the one that you have to design your offense.
Okay.
He might be the one that you have design your defense. He might be the one that you go to figure out how you play another team in a 7-game series and beat them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of managing ego,
And this is why people love,
I don't think my man got it, bro.
This is why people love Phil Jackson, and it's such an underrated concept of coaching that people never take into account.
That's
They're like,
all you have
It's easy
to
to coach
do.
stars. It's either Eric
No.
Spoelstra doesn't get. That's why Eric Spoelstra never
Fam.
gets enough credit.
Fam. Eric
because
Spoelstra-
that motherfucker has coached with scraps. He's coached with stars.
Always in the mix.
He's always been in the mix.
Yo, that's another thing that bothers me, yo. Spo has taken garbage to the playoffs.
Yes.
Garbage juice to the playoffs.
Yes.
And never is looked at like a guru. We're talking about a dude who had no track record of coaching before he coached
was a video
in the
coordinator. He took the videos and spliced them up for the coaches, and now he's probably the Heat's most successful coach in
history.
Probably in a fucking franchise that had Pat Riley as a coach. He's had more success than Pat Riley.
Facts.
As the coach.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. And let's not sleep on Heat teams. Heat had ridiculous teams.
Yeah, they've had ridiculous teams. They've had your Shaqs,
multiple
and your
All-Stars,
Brons and Bosh and Wades, obviously. Morning.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, all those guys, man. Like it's.
Nobody knows more than the Knicks how effective he could be.
And that's why Brad Stevens is like, he's never had to manage ego.
That's why he did so well with these young teams with no stars, right? Brad got his reputation in the NBA from taking teams that shouldn't have done well into the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is supposed to be a rebuild, and he's actually winning games.
Yeah.
He must be the best, right?
He took LeBron 7. He took LeBron 7 last year. The Celtics lost in 7. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Scary Terry. They went 7 with the Cavaliers.
Yeah. But that's not. If you ask me, that's when he has a legit team with all stars.
Mm-hmm. But
right? I'm talking about first 3 years where he was taking no stars.
Yeah.
The teams that were supposed to be finishing in the bottom of the East, and he's immediately getting them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
The first 3 years where he built his rep, right?
Yeah.
Coming right from college, and he's like, okay, this guy's great in school, great in collegiate level. He's going to be there for the rebuild. Ainge believes in him, etc. And all of a sudden, he's being effective with these teams that had nobody, right? He's getting Isaiah Thomas. He's getting the most out of Isaiah Thomas, literally. Isaiah's dropping 50-point games. He's devising offense where he can be effective, etc. Right, hasn't been shit. Fair enough, right? Yeah. But I guess my point is, now he has legit celebrity basketball players.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, one's coming off an injury. Two are coming off injuries.
Fair, but you and I know that the conversations around the Boston Celtics organization are not happy ones.
No.
Kyrie upset. Jason Tatum upset. Jalen don't even know his role in the team. The whole team hates Gordon Hayward because he's playing horrible.
Yeah.
Scary Terry's like, where my minutes at?
Yeah. It's
This
managing
is reflective
egos
of coaching because at this level you manage the ego.
And managing expectations as well. It's very easy to be beloved when motherfuckers love Fizdale right now. There's no expectations. They're losing anything. Oh, if one player has a good game, it's like, look at Fizz getting the most out of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Brad Stevens,
you're
when
supposed
there
to
was
win now,
no expectations for the Celtics.
You're supposed to win now.
You know what I'm saying? Now when it's time to win, it's not that easy. It's not as sweet. It's not as cuddly as everybody wants it to be.
And you seem to be failing at managing these egos.
Yeah.
Because everybody on your team is upset and they're not buying in. You got Kyrie vocal about, I wish there was some veteran leadership here. Right? Like, that's
you went to 3 finals. You the vet.
Fam.
The vet, bro.
First of all, you the vet.
You the vet.
Absolutely, number one, you're the vet. But number two,
Al Horford, you the vet.
You know who that's a shot at, though?
Who?
That's a shot at your coach. Basically, what you're saying is,
you can't lead us.
We need a leader because our leader can't lead.
Damn. I don't know, Kyrie.
It's spicy.
Brad meet bus.
Yo.
Get that tire mark out of your team. Like, it's I don't know, man. I think the Celtics, I don't even think the Celtics be all right no more. I don't think it's that cut and dry. I don't think it's that simple.
What you mean?
I don't think it's not like the Warriors situation. Like, oh, well, they get to the finals, they'll be fine.
It's going to be rocky for them.
The East is tough. The East is all of a sudden very tough out of nowhere. The Sixers.
Fuck the Sixers.
Look good.
Giannis learned that he can change directions.
Yeah.
The second Giannis learned.
He's like, I can go west and east now?
Bro.
Yeah.
You cannot guard him.
Nah, he's the most impossible guy.
You cannot guard him if he can change directions.
Not only can't guard him, referees can't officiate him. I don't know what's a walk, what's not a walk, but when you're that long, it's just like, all right, yeah, I guess you're allowed to dunk off a Euro step now. I didn't know that was a thing.
Son, it is unfucking believable.
Yeah,
He's too big. He's too big to not lean into him when you play D. The second you lean in, he Euros around you.
Yeah. Pacers, good team. Raptors, very good team.
Very good team.
Fucking, god damn. If Charlotte pulls off a deal and gets Kemba some help, they'll be dangerous. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that easy for Boston right now. If I had to pick one team coming out the East, man, it's hard to go against Philly.
No, Philly looking good.
It's hard to go against.
I like
man.
Toronto too.
I like Toronto
too. They're a little more disciplined.
I do think Jimmy and Kawhi might cancel each other out. Ben can't shoot. Kyrie probably can't score on Ben Simmons. I think Embiid is the difference between those.
Yeah.
I think Embiid is the difference over there, and you know.
Yeah, because they don't have anybody that can really lock up.
I gotta break.
Yeah. They can really lock it up. But look, man. This has been another episode of Flagrant 2, the Patreon.
Shout out to Nate Robinson.
Yo, thank you so much,
Slam
Nate
Dunk
Robinson.
Chant. Thank you, bro. We're going to have you back here very, very soon in studio.
Most definitely. The Patreon community, thank you guys so much for not only supporting what we do and helping us build this, but also for really pushing this to the next fucking level. It's amazing to see the growth. I know you guys are telling your friends about it. I see you guys promoting it on Twitter, promoting it on Instagram, sharing this shit, and that's really how the community has just exploded. Kaz, Akash, and I have an idea that we want to bring you guys in on, especially with this episode. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for listening, spreading the word. If you like this podcast, tell your friends about it. Tell the world about it. Let's continue to grow this shit organically,
Follow us on
man.
Instagram.
Yo, we got a great
Flagrant 2 Pod.
Flagrant 2 Pod.
Great Instagram page now. Follow us on Twitter at Flagrant 2
2 Army.
Oh, Flagrant 2 Army.
Yeah,
Flagrant
there's
2
another.
Army, yes.
Flagrant 2 Army is the Twitter. There's another Twitter that is a fan run
official
account.
fan one.
We
yeah.
appreciate y'all too.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, follow us and just get
these numbers up, man. Build
Man,
the army.
it's just amazing what we've been doing, man, and thank y'all for doing it.
We're going to
got
do
some
an AMA
things
soon,
too.
all right?
That's right. We're going to do an AMA. And also, we're going to call Alex's White Girl because we hit 3,000 patrons, but Alex wants to obviously be here for that, which I understand. So we're gonna do that next time Alex is available for this. And then the next stop on the patrons, we want 5,000. We're going for the big 5K.
Yes, sir.
All right? So we're at over 3,000 right now. Let's do it. Let's do 5K. And let's take the fuck over. And I swear to God, we're not going to stop until every single one of you guys is part of this movement, part of this army. We got some amazing shit cooking. I can't wait to share with you guys personal things in our life, personal projects that we're doing and projects we're all doing together. So I'm really fucking hyped for the future, man. I'm so fucking hyped.
Keep it fucking tight, Army.
Keep it tight, man.
Go.
Thank y'all so much for listening.
Thank you.
Peace.